purpose. I feel like that's what you're picking up on. I see what you're saying, but the thing I'm talking about is like when life is just like doing something crazy, and you know.
This is literally what I mean. As like using you and I as an example, we've been through shit, enough shit, years worth of shit, so that I will already develop what my feelings about you are and who I think you are and how you would react in certain situations. So I don't need to create a scenario now to be like, I wonder how this nigga feel about this.
Okay.
It's been I wonder what Nick would do if my back was against the wall. I wonder like what it would be like if somebody was about to, would he protect me? Like, is this nigga really down? Like, I know the answer to that question already. And to be honest with you, if we had been together this long and I didn't know the answer to that question, I would be a dumb bitch to me. Because if you don't trust him by now, why you still here?
Yeah, why are we here?
Feel that.
Like, just get rid of the person. But I mean, I feel that way about a lot of shit. I'm not the type of person, I swear to God, 30 years old, I've never looked through a nigga's phone. I've never been in a scenario where it's been like, give me your phone, unlock that for me. That sounds, I can't say that. That sounds ridiculous to me. That sounds ridiculous to me. For what? If you don't trust a nigga to the point that you gotta read through his electronic diary, get rid of him.
Electronic diary.
I agree. I agree with the conniving thing. I do agree with like being conniving and testing, and I understand what you're saying about something in life happening. Because I've never made a plan to test someone.
Yeah, I know.
It was just like, even the situation I'm talking about, I already knew that the person had violated before I decided to test the person, and I've never set up somebody to test them. I don't know. I feel like this is wrong with me, but I feel like God is gonna protect me. So if you doing me dirty, you probably gonna feel terrible about it and tell me. Yeah. Cause I ain't do shit to you.
Now I won't lay a trap for a person, but I will let them fuck themselves up with me, knowing that it's coming. My intuition told me that you was gonna mess up.
Definitely.
I will let you do that in my face, so I could be like, see.
There's no question. There's no reason for you to text me. Why?
No, we all seen it play out.
Yeah,
I love letting niggas tell on themselves. That's wonderful.
Well, that's like the value of like, I guess, you know, proof, and just being able to end the conversation, you know, with something definitive. Because for me, I try not to do anything petty or say anything petty. I don't even really curse at people when I'm mad. But when I'm done with them, I feel like the most that I can really do is cut them off, because they'll really feel that. It's almost like a Japanese ritual seppuku where I'm killing myself to insult you, right? Like, it's something I'm not down with, so I'm just
you got
to this relationship.
Yeah, so I'd rather kill myself than be your friend. I feel like the next illest thing you could do to somebody would just be cut them off, because they not have to experience life in your absence, and they know they did wrong. So it's kind of like putting somebody in hell.
I'm a greedy bitch, and I feel like I can do both. I'm definitely gonna curse you out.
Then cut you off.
And cut you off.
Yo, that's like the sun. Like if the sun feels some type of way, the sun don't gotta do nothing but go away. It don't gotta burn you. Just I'ma stop shining, nigga. Now what?
Well, it's a slow burn, because I know my absence is gonna burn you over time.
No, your absence is good. That's it's go that heat. What's that? Heat burn or something?
The sunburn?
No, what's that? When you get fucking frozen. Frostbite.
Oh, frostbite.
Oh, nah, I'm lying.
Yeah.
I was looking for a burn word that had to do with being cold.
There is a word for that. Freezer burn.
Okay.
But that's
it's gonna be a freezer when the sun leaves this bitch.
But now, like, I think about my like epic cutoff conversations that I've had with a couple of like ex-friends or whatever, and I was mad, I was hurt and all that, but the reason why I don't curse or go off the rails is because I want to control the conversation, and I don't want to invite any excess, I guess any excess commentary. Like, I don't want you to overreact. I want you to just feel exactly what I'm like. I want you to hear the verdict. I want you to hear the logic and the verdict. And
I didn't even start thinking like that until this year, bro. Like I'm not what you call it. I was not emotionally intelligent like at all. No funny shit.
I've only been in one situation where in the conversation I was done with you. Right? Most of the time for me, what happens is I'm by myself, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? That's a bitch nigga. I'm never gonna speak to that nigga again. And then I just don't speak to you again. I'm not gonna invite you into a conversation to be like, you know what, motherfucker, I'm done with you. It's not an airport. You don't gotta announce your departure. Everything is fine. But one time I was in a conversation with somebody, and it was literally just a response to what they said to me. Person one was just like, and I was like, yo, fuck that, and fuck you, and fuck this. And that was just the end of it. And like, I cursed them out, and then I blocked them, and that was the end of everything. And that was the only time in the conversation I was just like, yo, nah. And the only time I felt like it wasn't even a speech. My response to what he said was literally, fuck you, you're dead to me. You just told yourself out of whatever the fuck this was.
I've said you're dead to me. I like the expression you're dead to me. I feel like that's part of the banishment aspect of it. Like,
yeah, no.
As far as I'm concerned, you really are dead. Like, even if I saw you, I probably wouldn't even say anything to you.
Yeah, you don't exist anymore.
Yeah. You know?
But I don't wish you well, I don't wish you bad.
Because I'm so cognizant of the impact that I had on their lives.
Exactly.
I'm so aware of how much they get from my end of the relationship.
Exactly.
That I know cutting them off will hurt them more than it'll hurt me.
Yes. Exactly. You are a know nothing, have nothing ass person. I do not give another fuck about you to keep you around, especially considering that shit you just said. You are such a dead issue.
Yeah, and I'll never let somebody take me out of my brand, like out of my demeanor. Like I feel like I lose power when I really do too much.
You taught me a lot about composure.
Yeah.
The way that you compose yourself, and I respect it.
I feel like when I get you mad, I feel like I won.
Right.
Like I touched a nerve.
My brand, I'm a little bit ratchet. I don't have no problem. I'm a Leo son. I don't give a fuck if you know that I'm mad. If I'm mad enough. Like, yes. Congratulations, everybody. Bethany is finally pissed off. You did it. But who really lost though?
Nah, no funny. I can relate to that.
And now everything that you ever loved is on fire. Thank you.
Different type of warriors, you know.
No, I totally feel the vibe because you calmed me a lot.
But that's how I was raised.
It makes sense. My parents was angry performers.
So what we're seeing right now is that both of your parents' relationship individually influence how you guys interact.
Anger, I would say so.
Okay.
Your parents are way more composed in general than mine are in general. And that is not to say that my parents are like, rah, but they are when they're tight. Both of my parents look like cartoon characters when they're upset. My father turns into a child when he's pissed off, and he's basically having a tantrum, but he's 6'2".
Damn.
And my mom's, she's your typical black mom. You know, she knows how to fuss. My mother is really good at fussing. She has a PhD in fussing.
Oh man.
You don't even gotta be there. My mother could fuss all by herself. So I gotta get it out. I gotta say my piece.
Yeah, I definitely get my attitude from my mother. Like, she's very hot-headed. I'm learning composure from my father right now.
Yeah, and I feel like it's because your family is the first people you argue with. So you develop the way that you displayed anger in order to win arguments against those people. Right? Is the people in your house are the first people that you was trying to not get over on, but like win over. Those was the arguments with your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your aunt, your uncle, your cousins. That's who you was disagreeing with the most often about little shit. And so the way that I argue was really shaped by the fact that I knew my mom was gonna nag about it and my father was gonna explode about it, and that they only respected or reacted to certain types of outbursts, right? Like if I went in my room and I quietly processed how I felt, that wasn't gonna win me the argument. So why would I do that? In order to win the argument, you needed to get the last word in my house. And so that is how I argue. I'm finna to get the last word. I'm finna be the last nigga standing. I said the most fire shit. I dropped the mic and everybody was like, oh shit. That's how I argue.
We were watching Naruto a little while ago, and I had to rewatch when Guy fought Madara. I think that's my shit. But yeah, when it showed how Guy was getting raised by his pops, and he was explaining, you know, just like his ninja way, even though he was barely even a ninja, but he was saying how when you fight, it's not about destroying your opponent, it's more so about defending what's right to you. So I feel like as long as I've done that, then I've done my job. You know, anything besides that to me is unnecessary.
I've never seen my parents argue. I've also never seen them settle a disagreement either.
Have I seen my parents settle a disagreement? Definitely seen them niggas argue. Have I ever visually seen them settle a disagreement? I don't think so. I lived with them for mad long, so the aftermath of disagreements get settled, right? Like, but I'll keep it a stiggity with you. I feel like those conversations where they actually came to the compromise and worked through the things that they had been arguing about, that shit happened in their room when the door was closed and nobody was around. And you knew they was good based off of how they were treating each other. But you knew they was fighting because you heard it.
What about you? Did you see your parents' problem solved? Like,
you mean between each other?
Yeah.
My parents bicker. They have their little arguments, but it never really got that crazy. Like, it would fizzle out before it got that crazy. And they would bicker about stupid shit. About like, well, not stupid shit, but like mundane things, not things with heavy gravity. I don't think I was even around for the conversations where they had the real conversations that had gravity to them. But I do know that they were resolved eventually. But I don't think I was really faced with them arguing about something that was like very pivotal to their hearts and their relationship. I feel like I've only seen mundane things.
I will say, I love my parents.
I feel like they would just go upstairs and work it out over time and not really do it in front of us.
2 caveats, right? I will say that the shit that I seen my parents argue over was definitely mundane. And secondly, they didn't like argue like when it was heated. They didn't argue in front of us. They argued in their room. But their room is right there. And they black and they loud. So you heard it just because you was over there though.
I wouldn't hear them yelling from the room. Like,
yeah, I didn't hear them.
Absolutely. And then, absolutely, I've heard these niggas yelling from the room.
When they started yelling, they would separate, and we'd only hear because one of them was leaving the room, and then we would hear the end of the argument, and then them needing space.
Oh my God. So I've lived in 3 houses with my family. We started off at my grandmother's house, and my parents' room was in like the basement. And then we lived on Ilion Avenue, and my parents' room was.
Yeah, how many of y'all when it was in the basement?
How many?
Like how big was your family unit when you were living in the basement?
So there was 6 or 7 of us, right? It was me, my mother, my sister, and my father, of course. And we lived with my grandmother, and my uncle lived there. So that was the basis. That was who lived there all the time. My grandmother also had a tenant, and so me and Alicia would literally go and listen to them argue. Like I remember when we lived in my grandmother's house, you either would put your head to the basement door, or there was a vent. You could hear everything in the fucking vent. So you would listen at the vent. And we would just listen to their fucking arguments. I knew the whole everything. Everything. It was loud.
How did your parents settle disputes between you and your siblings? Wait, why did you do that?
It depends on how bad the dispute got, right? Like,
Okay.
So first and foremost, I feel like Alicia and I, my sister and I, really worked through our problems together. Not that my parents didn't have anything to do with it, because they definitely intervened, but I really feel like the work that it took between two people to stop arguing had nothing to do with the punishments that my parents was giving to us, had nothing to do with any of that. We just loved each other, and at some point was just like fighting, bickering. All of it is counterproductive to what we're trying to do. Me and Alicia fought every day. We fought every day. Fist fight, knock down, drag out, I'm gonna beat your ass every single day. She slept in my bed. Like, we was attacked at the hip, and that's just too close, maybe. I don't know.
I feel you.
But we fought every single day, and it literally just got to a point where I was just like, look, bro, this shit doesn't make sense. Because I'm out here beating people up to protect you. I would die for you. I would kill for you. But I'm also like beating your ass Hunger Games style every night. Like, we gotta pick a side. It need to be me and you against these other people, and not me against you and all these other niggas. I'm only one bitch, right? But my parents, when we were fighting, it was more about, my parents very much were like, y'all need each other. Y'all need to stop acting like that. But they also was just like, y'all fight about absolutely everything, from who needs to sit in the front seat to what color, like what are we about to watch on TV? Like, you're wearing me out. So if we were physically fighting and my parents got wind of us physically fighting, everybody was getting their ass beat. If we were arguing, my parents would interject into the argument and basically tell us to shut the fuck up. That is not the verbiage that they would use. They did not curse at us, but they was just like, stop arguing. It wasn't really that much in the way of conflict resolution. It was, you and her are all y'all have in this life. Figure it out and stop screaming for the love of God. And if you put your hands on her, I'm putting my hands on both. So we was fighting, we had to hide that we was fighting, otherwise we was gonna get a second beating. And that was why it was so stupid. We would be fighting, and then Alicia, we was fighting with the broom, and one of us broke the broom over the other person, like broke it into two, and like, now we was breaking other people's shit, right? Like, oh God, now we breaking stuff, oh my God. So now, right, we was just beating the crap out of each other, and now we have to work together to hide the broken broom and like make it so that nobody understands that we ruined things, and like just finish what we was doing. And it's just like, bro,
that's a lot.
this is foolishness. It's just not. Just not. Yeah, we was really, my parents got us fighting, they would beat us.
Where my mom was hot-headed. She used to beat us all the time for arguing, not listening, whatever. And then after a while, it just, you know, it just stopped hurting. But I was a wild kid, right? And my karma coming. Because I remember I locked my mother out of my room, and she was like, open this door. And I was like, no.
That shit down. I wish. That is
no.
And see, it sounds like I got my ass beat a lot, and I did not. I didn't get a lot of spankings because I was just like, I don't want to get my ass beat a lot. If I think I'm about to get my ass beat, I'm not gonna do that. A whole bunch of things that I was just like, no, you wanna skip school? No, my dad would beat my ass if I skip school. No. But like that, if I had locked my father's door, it's funny that you locked the door, right? If I had locked my father's door to deny him access to me because I was about something he told me to do in his house with,
no, not because he was pissed, because she was beating me already.
He still would have been mad.
Like, yeah, she was mad.
Knock that shit down because I remember one time I was getting a spanking because my father told me to clean my room, and I did not clean my room. Back, and he was just like, "What is this? It's been 3 hours. You're not doing nothing. Clean your room. Or you about to get in trouble." 3 more hours went by, and I didn't do shit.
Dang.
Space. And my father was just like, "Look, I don't understand why you are taking me for play. Like I'm not your father, right? You got an hour to clean your room, or you are getting a spanking." Does everybody hear the words coming out of daddy's mouth? And so I did what any normal child would do, and instead of really cleaning my room, I took everything and I started shoving it in the bed and in the closet. And my father came into the room at the end of my hour, and he saw that this is what I had been doing. I don't know where the fuck she could have been. I don't remember. This was 30 years. And he started giving me this spanking that he told me he was going to give me, right? Like he told me he was going to give me this spanking. It was chaotic because the room was filthy and the room was small. So he was beating me, right? And like papers just flying everywhere. It's chaotic. So I run in the closet. Right? Because I'm just like, I gotta hide from this. And my mother was just like, "Come out of there, or I will beat your face." I don't want to do that. So you need to come out. He stopped everything he was doing. He was like, "Come on. This hiding business. We're in the middle of something right now. You know, there's nothing. The beating doesn't stop just because you try to escape. I'm letting you know that it's gonna be worse." That nigga would have broke my head. Absolutely. Middle of the spanking, you locked the door.
I think my mother banged on the door. She started laughing and she went back downstairs. Yeah, she just went back downstairs, bro. Yeah. I went to bed scared. I was like, alright. I skipped the ass whooping. I just went to the part where you go to sleep.
That was the cool part about having a grandmother around. My grandmother would just be like, pick another parenting style. Don't you hit my baby. The fuck? No. Don't you whip my babies.
Yeah, that's for me it was the opposite because my parents didn't beat me, but my grandmother did actually. I think she was just more corporate.
Your parents didn't beat none of y'all?
They beat Aaron. He was that. But me and my sister would, we just followed the rules, just basically doing it. And when I broke the rules, it was in secret, so
okay.
It was fine. Mostly. But me and Segway didn't fight physically. But what I didn't appreciate is whenever we had a legitimate conflict, my mom wouldn't really hear both sides and make the best verdict. She would just want it to be over and want us to stop. So that used to get me going because like I wanted it to be resolved and like I would then have to be right, like I would be in the right. So I wanted that validation and I didn't get it from those situations. Me and Aaron did fight, but we had an age difference, so it wasn't much of a fight. He's younger than me, so he would get mad, he would hit me, I wouldn't feel it. He would get more mad, I wouldn't want it to be over. Like that's all I would have to. But it's crazy because time went on and we became grown in the same house. So then we would still fight sometimes, and things were just higher stakes because now we're just both grown. For the most part. Grown ass men throwing hands in the back room. It's different than two little boys hustling in the back. Right, and he's bigger than me now, so it's just crazy now because like all the hits just like it's heavy. So like it's just different. But when that happened, my father came to intervene and we stopped. So I appreciate the stop this when it's a physical altercation, but when it's like a more complicated. Well, physical stuff is complicated. Like the cause for it can be complicated, but I just they would just want to stop the conflict. They don't want us to be doing all that.
Yeah, it's not about settling your differences or coming to an agreement.
Right, and
My parents told me
I think I would do it differently though. Like I think when I'm a parent, I'm gonna really try to hear both of them out, and like I want them to know that I care about the details about what happened. Like I really do want to make that a teachable moment for reasons other than y'all shouldn't be fighting. Like I want to get to the root of the thing.
I agree with you.
Because then it'll just keep on happening, right?
Yes, and I think that I feel the same way. I respect the fact that my mother, specifically my father, didn't say nothing. There was no rationale behind nothing. But my mom was really the one that we would be going to, and we was trying to settle a dispute anyway. But my mom was really clear about the fact that, like, I don't have a family for this. Y'all need a lot. I do everything. I'm too tired to settle your squabbles. That's literally what she called it. Stop squabbling with each other. Settle your own squabble. Settle it yourself. And you have to settle it. She was really impressed upon us, like, you two have to come to this. I don't have the energy to solve for you. I don't know what the right answer is. You love her, she loves you. Figure it out and leave me out of it. And please, I'm screaming. Was my mom's whole shit. She was just like, look, bro, I'm reserving my energy for when you fall out of a tree next. Okay, when you get your first heartbreak. Or
I noticed that
bro.
you say you fight with your sister and you fight with your brother, and I didn't really like. I fought with my sister when we were younger because we were young, and I always got my ass whipped. Like that's your sister, first of all.
Well, not drastic.
Well, yeah. I don't think I wanted to fight my sister because she has reflexes. She's just fast with her hands, so I never really wanted to go there. She was older than me too, so we never really.
Yeah, I feel you.
If I was mad, I wouldn't express it in that way. I would just, complain or whatever.
Nah, I totally
like
feel
go
you.
to a different room.
Or so.
Having a brother might have changed things. Because I don't know what that would have been like.
Well, she was like my guardian. She was a good older sibling. She kept me safe and all that shit. My parents worked a lot, so yeah, she was good at that. And then when she went to high school, my brother came to my school, and I became his guardian, and I knew how to do it because Sangha would do it for me. So yeah. But me and my brother have an age difference though. Like the 6-year thing made it so that I felt more so like, even though I was his guardian, but I feel like I was doing a lot of raising too.
Yes, I believe
A lot of
that.
raising.
Yeah.
Alicia's only 2 years younger than me. If she had been 6
My sister too.
if Alicia had been 6 years younger than me, I would be insufferable about her. Insufferable about her because you already almost can't tell me that she's not my kid. Just that she's fucking grown and it looks ridiculous. She's only 2 years. It looks ridiculous to be talking about this grown ass woman about she's my baby.
Or like when you graduate high school, they still got fucking like 2 years before they get into high school, right? If you're 6 years older,
Right. Come on.
Right, it's 4 years.
Yeah, that's a lot. No, you wouldn't be able to tell me nothing. I would still be walking little sis to school,
yeah.
leaving high school, and making sure, like, are you? No.
Yeah, you
sure
14,
got lunch
I'm
money.
20.
Now
like,
I'm making sure you got lunch money and stuff. I'm paying for your first dates and shit. No way. There's no way. There's no way. It would be drastic. 6 years is a big difference.
Yeah. I've heard crazier differences, but that one definitely.
like my father's side, yo, my grandma, yo, God rest her soul, man. she pumped out an army, you hear me? Like 15 and 12 living right now. Nah, Corona.
My mom got.
I think we got like
that who got like 12
10,
kids.
9. My father got like 9 siblings living right now.
Not in this economy.
Damn.
I gotta ask him. I gotta interview my pop too.
You should.
But yeah, like my father, like 50, 54. His second youngest brother, or is it his youngest brother, is 13 years older than me. So he's 40. That's what, 14 years.
Yeah.
He raised my uncle.
Well, what about the fact that as time goes on, we have less children? Like that's probably an economy thing, right? You think?
I can't afford fucking 12 kids.
Yeah, it's not. You don't really hear that.
Yeah, because children was currency. Like, one of them go make it.
Yeah. And that's still the case.
That's like a hit playing the lottery.
It's expensive now because inflation and all that shit. You know?
Bro, I can't even.
Yeah.
The food bill alone in New York is astronomical.
Yeah, and if you have sons, you're buying twice as much.
I'm not feeding them all. Nope. Absolutely.
But you know, I think 3 is a good number these days. It's like max if you can afford it.
I was thinking 3 for years since like forever.
You know what he was talking
3
about?
kids.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the perfect one. That's exactly how I'm kids.
I guess it's millennials and on.
The ideal.
We're not really about having mad kids like that.
The fuck?
Or having kids at all in some cases.
That's that medieval
In
shit.
this economy, it doesn't make sense. With this healthcare, it doesn't make sense. With this infant mortality rate, it doesn't make sense. With this mother birth rate, it doesn't make sense. This is a third world country to give birth in, and that's just facts, especially if you're brown. This country is a third world place to give birth in, and that's not an extrapolation. The numbers are equivalent. Giving birth is high risk. And these bitches be out here just pumping out babies for God knows who. And this is the shit that baffles my mind, because I'm just like, you asked me to carry your child and you are asking me to risk my goddamned life. And I mean, some of y'all niggas is worth that. And most of y'all niggas is not. And that's just like risking my life, lay that on the track and play Russian roulette with a bullet. For most of y'all, the answer is absolutely negativity.
I agree. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. And then for the ones that's left, do I want to co-parent with you? And your family? Get the fuck out of here.
Nah, you blacking right now, yo. That co-parenting shit.
It's hard to have a whole phase in these streets right now because the pickings is slim. I'm very pro whole phase. But it's just like, you might could end up tied on your taxes to every dick you bounce on. That's risky business. That's risky business. I'm not carrying. None of y'all see the fuck.
Yeah.
Even when you popping, I don't like your mama like that. I don't like your cousins like that. Your family is crazy. None of y'all could see. I can't.
Oh shit. I mean, I'm gonna take it to the future level because, you know, it's probably better to vet who you reproduce with for the whole species.
Duh.
You know, we're all gonna benefit if we're not reproducing the wrong type of
Right.
You know?
Niggas out here talking about alpha males and $200 dates and shit, and then dating scumbags with terrible genes.
Yeah. Gotta vet those.
Worried about the wrong things. Just worried about the wrong.
Facts. Like, I was watching this video and this guy was like, he asked women like, is your mother schizophrenic? You know what I'm saying? Like, right out the gate. Like, I want to know. Because these are things you have to know about people. You know what I'm saying?
That's rude, but I get it.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know if you're abusive.
That's crazy.
That is some real shit.
It is real shit.
But
Because you know what's funny? That's something somebody won't tell you. You feel me? And if they're like, if they tell you because you ask, that's cool. If they get defensive because you ask, then you can just choose somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it sounds crazy to do it like that, but the reason why you ask that up front is because if we get too close and then you tell me, I can't leave because of that reason. I can't leave you because you're dealing with something. So I gotta know before we get invested, because then it's still okay. You know what I'm saying? But then once you're into it.
Granted, he was on a YouTube video talking to thousands of people.
Right.
So I don't think he would say it word for word like that.
But I mean, like, if you're gonna ask somebody something like that, then that means that you're a seasoned person in terms of dating, and you're like, what doesn't work for me is this, and what I want to prevent encountering is this, and I know that, so let me not waste any more years of my life.
Yeah, you're like a 40-something-year-old man that said it.
See, a 20-year-old person would not have that level of foresight. For sure.
Yeah, you get to be, and I feel like you get to be worried about whatever you're worried about, right? But at the same time, I'm one of these people who I don't really fuck with things like brutal honesty and tough love and all the rest of that, because they're just like, there's no real reason.
I agree.
For it, like, you can just be honest. You don't gotta be brutal. That's a choice. You can say what you said. Like, why you can't just be gently honest, compassionate, truthful? I don't know. So it's just like and you get to